Life speaks. It speaks through struggles and success, through music and messages, the preconceived and the unexpected. Whether you are in the depths of the valley or in the midst of your mountaintop experience, everyone needs to be encouraged from time to time. Here we will share stories of strength, testimonies of triumph, verses of victory, observations, and information meant to touch the heart and uplift the soul, to keep you on your path of purpose and navigate this thing called life with power and authority. This is Andrea Hines, and I'm your host for When Life Speaks, here on ALH Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network. I am glad you accepted the invitation to join us tonight. There's something in this broadcast just for you, and if it is going to be a blessing to your life, it will be to someone else as well. So share, tag, start a watch party, and invite someone you know to join us. Then turn down the volume of life and get ready to receive, so that when life speaks, you'll speak life. Well, good evening. Good evening. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you join us here at When Life Speaks. You have tuned into ALH Broadcasting, and I am your host, Andrea L. Hines, and I am so happy that you have decided to join us tonight on this Thursday evening. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m., and we have different guests and different topics and different things that we talk about. And I welcome Shannara Connolly. I see Mark Avery. Hey, God sister. You got some greetings coming in already for our guests. And I just thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I want to get all of our housekeeping things out of the way immediately, because this is a lady that I want you to meet. She is phenomenal. I had the opportunity to meet her through an organization called Sisters Who Care. And I tell you, the things that she is able to do or has been able to do are just amazing. Good evening there, Bernice. Glad to have you in the house this evening as well. And look, you all had some homework to do. My listeners have some homework to do. And I want to remind you of it because good things are going to start to happen in February. I decided that this year I wanted to, we always talk about being a blessing. I want to be a blessing. Well, I do. And there's some things that I want to give. I just want to give some things to people. I want to either give some of my product, or there may be books or things or journals, or I'm not sure what I'm going to give. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to select someone every month between now starting in February, from February to December. And I want to send you something just because. Don't want to wait till birthday. Don't want to wait till Christmas. Don't want to wait till any holiday. Just want to send you something just because you gave me your name, and we're going to put it on a wheel, and we're going to draw a name every month, and we're going to see what you will get just because. Isn't it good? It's just good to get a gift sometimes, just for no apparent reason, just because you're amazing and you're celebrating yourself. So that's what I want to do for the rest of the year. Now, here are the names I have so far. Francina, I have you. I have Bernice, I have Victoria Henderson, and I have Tanya Joyner. So if any of you on the line right now, put, if you want to be a part of this, you can just put in the comment section, just because. Or you can send me an email to speaklifewithandrea@gmail.com. speaklifewithandrea@gmail.com. And you can put it there as well. Just put just because. I see Shanara. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name right. I hope I am, but I see her there, and she's putting in that she wants to be a part of. Francine said, I love receiving gifts. I do too, Francine, but I love giving them even more. So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do that for the rest of this year. And I'm excited about, I make greeting cards and things like that. So I don't know, you might get some greeting cards, you might get a book. I don't know what you're going to get, but you'll love it just because. So tonight I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to say talk to you, but I'm going to introduce to you this wonderful, wonderful lady that I met. Sometimes, you may not know, if you haven't been on before, we have different segments here on When Life Speaks. Sometimes it's a story of strength. Sometimes it's a testimony of triumph. Sometimes it is just reading scripture and praying. And then we have a variety of topics. We did something recently. We did a 5-part series on the sword, and just encouraging one another when you are worried, when you are stressed out, when you are having those moments of rejection and things like that. How do we handle those things? How do we manage to make it through? What are favorite scriptures that you lean on? Things like that. We have a segment for Keep Faith Flowing, and we have different people who call in and pray throughout the evening. But this is one of my favorite segments. And this segment is about the power of one. The power of one. Let me tell you, it takes a yes from one person for God to fill in the blanks. And some amazing things happen. And when I put this flyer up, I said it's something to meet ordinary people who can just accomplish extraordinary things. And I want to tell you just a little bit about Dr. Rita. She was born and raised in Philadelphia, PA, later moved to Pittsburgh to further her education, but she currently resides in Raleigh, North Carolina. She established a women's group in 1993 called Women of Purpose and Destiny. It says, with exhilaration, she coordinated the first annual Women's Conference retreat, which was held in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. In the month of October, the year of 2008, Dr. Rita was inspired to open the New Beginning Women's and Teens Resource Center. She has awards. She has been on television programs. She has been on different broadcasts. She has done some amazing things. She has been honored by city governments. I can't even name everything that she has done. It is phenomenal. And sometimes she's done it without the resources, without knowing how it's going to happen, without knowing how it's going to work. But the power of one, what this one phenomenal woman has done will just amaze you. She's been married to her husband, Joe, for 42 years and is the mother of 3 adult children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. And she is absolutely a beautiful woman of God. We are so happy to welcome her here tonight to When Life Speaks. So we're going to take a very short break and a breath, and we will be right back. And when we come back, you will get to meet Dr. Rita Suter. Hang in there. We'll be right back. Dr. Rita D. Suter. Do you see this beautiful lady here? I tell you what, Dr. Rita, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I tell you, you got a busy schedule and you made room for us, and we thank you. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing fine, Dr. Hines. No, and I really want to say thank you to you for this opportunity, having me on the program to be able to share my journey with others. I really appreciate you.
Well, let me tell you, when I go out and I meet different people and I'm at different events, so sometimes people will introduce me to other people, which Dr. Lisa was instrumental in this because of the
Yes.
organization Sisters Who Care. But it really is, we have no idea sometimes in whose presence we sit. And I think it is so important that when I meet somebody or I find somebody who has the kind of story that you have, who has just gone out and done what they believe that God has called them to do and has, fought for some things, because all of these things are not easy to accomplish. But I just think everybody else ought to know about them too. So,
Amen.
so I'm just glad to be able to have you on so that my listeners and those who are viewing are able to say, you know what, I found out about a phenomenal lady named Dr. Rita Suter, and she had a wonderful story to tell. Now, there's sometimes that I have people on and we kind of do a question and answer type of thing. But
Mhm.
I had told you earlier, I said, this is just two ladies sitting down chatting.
Right.
We're just going to have a conversation because I want you to have the freedom to tell the people whatever you want to about your journey, the things that have impacted you, the things that you have done that have impacted other people. You can start anywhere you want to start because ultimately we want to talk about the transitional home and how that happened. But you've got a journey of a lot of different things, from music production, and just you've got the floor. The floor.
Okay.
Wherever you want to start and wherever you want to take us on this journey, Dr. Suter, we are ready and listening and waiting.
Thank you so much. Um, if someone had told me that at the age of 70 that I would be doing what I'm doing, I would have told them, you're telling me a tale, because I would not, I had no clue that God was going to take me down this road. But I am so glad that he did. Um, the scripture that I like to use with reference to myself is Psalms 37:1, and it says the steps of a good man, good woman, are ordered by the Lord. And I want you to know that every step that I have taken from when I started up till now has definitely been ordered by the Lord. Um, he's blown my mind. He has blown my mind. As I was sharing with you earlier, all of my accomplishments has been since I came to North Carolina. My husband, he moved the family here in 1988, I believe it was, or 86. I'm sorry. We moved here to North Carolina, and when my husband started talking to me about moving from the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to North Carolina, I was going like, oh no, no, can't take me away from familiarity and take me somewhere that I don't know anybody or anything. And every time he would say, I think the Lord wants me to move to North Carolina, I would cringe. I said, nope, not me, not me. So my husband my husband is also an elder. And so instead of him, continuing to bicker back and forth with me, he went to God in prayer on me. I didn't know that. And during this period of time, uh, so many things happened. And out of disobedience, I had to suffer. But I thank God that by the time I got the message clearly, I was running to North Carolina. So that was the best move I could have ever made, even though I was forced here. It was the best move that I could have ever made. And I told the Lord, you won't have that problem with me anymore. You say go, I'm willing to go, because I know that his choice or his plan for me is much better than the plan that I have for myself. And so we moved on. We moved here, and it was not easy because I didn't move from the big city to another big city. We moved to a little rural area where there was only the post office, the church, and the grocery store, and that was downtown.
Oh my.
So, so mentally, yeah, mentally, I had to make an adjustment. And,
Yes.
the Lord knew what was going to keep me satisfied, and He allowed me to find a church that
Yeah.
I could get right in there and work with the people, and that kept me there and going. And then the Lord just began to prosper my husband and I. Even with our jobs, we were able to get good jobs, and we moved on.
Hmm.
And so and my story is just so long, and I, like you said, jump in there. You got a question, just jump in there with a question, because now I'm talking about something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm one day it's going to be in a book. I'm
Oh,
a book.
awesome.
Mhm.
I know that I don't know what it is about North Carolina, but North Carolina causes some wonderful transformation for a lot of us because my move here, it just opened up my writing differently, and so many things changed for the good
Mhm.
once I moved here. So I totally, totally understand that. But when
Right.
I look at all of the things that you've been able to accomplish, and you are right. I'd have to have you on every Thursday for at least 6 months for
Oh,
us to
goodness.
go through all the things that you've been able to do. But
Thank
what was
God.
one of the first uh, major things that because you have founded different things and you've been hosts on different things and a part of different things? Was it a conference? Was it a church group? What was one of the first things that you did that you put your passion out there?
Well, the first thing I did was the women's retreat. The Lord began to deal with me about working with women, because as women, we wear so many hats,
Hmm.
but we don't take care of ourselves. We don't take time for ourselves. And we just go, 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 go. And so the Lord began to deal with me about taking time, setting time aside so
Hmm.
that women can have a moment where they can just regress, refresh, and then come back and continue in the vein that he has them in. And so the first event that I did was in Atlantic Beach. I went to my pastor at the time and told him what the Lord had, given to me. And he said to me, he said, well, we're with you 100%, because I didn't have no support. And then at that time, I didn't know how I was going to do, what I was going to do. But, we don't know, we don't have to know the how.
Right.
God
Oh,
gives us, when he gives us an assignment, we don't know, have to know the how. We just have to say, yes, Lord.
that's it.
So when the pastor said that he would have the church to support me 100%, and I'm telling you, they did. And then we had other people that came on board, and we went down to the beach. And I mean, we had speakers, we had workshops, we had time just to relax, and it was awesome. And so, as a result of that, we did it annually. The women were looking forward to it, and then they started putting it on their vacation schedules, and so they would come together. And so then the men started getting jealous, the brothers started getting jealous. I told him, I said, I'm only doing what God told me to do. He told me the women. So you don't have to find somebody else for the brethren. But but we were truly blessed. And we did that for, I mean, I don't know how many years I did that until God relocated me to another area. And
Mhm.
so I still have those people that we were connected to back those many years ago, still have those people that we are connected to. And we talk often, and God has just elevated more people in other positions, and we're just still doing the work of the Lord. But
Uh,
but other than the retreat, the big major event that I did that I'll never forget, when we had our production company, was when I brought Vicki Winans to Tarboro, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
The people were just so amazed at that because they couldn't believe that Vicki Winans, the recording artist, is in a little town called Tarboro, you know. And she came, and as a result of me and her getting together at that time, we became good friends. And Vicki is the one that really kind of equipped me with my business skills because she allowed me to do bookings for her. And this was something I had never done before. She allowed
Wow.
me to do bookings for her in the North Carolina area. So I had the opportunity to bring her for different events in North Carolina and got to meet some other artists. And we networked that way.
Dr. Rita, how did you get into the music industry? How did that all come about that you had that production company?
Um, I've always been in music, all through church.
Okay.
Sang in the choirs. My mother was into music. My brothers, all the families into music, and just got the opportunity to sing in some groups that, were professional, and got to travel around some. God just opened those doors. It wasn't a plan. It just wasn't a plan.
Mm.
I don't know if the audience remembers Gloria Spencer Gray. She was billed as the 650-pound gospel artist. That's how large she was.
Wow.
And she was like a big sister to me. And I used to travel with her. And I got to meet all the artists, the gospel keynotes. I mean, they were her ushers in her wedding, and then when she died, they were the Paul Burrows. I just really got to meet people. He just placed me in different places, and
Mm.
so music was always a part of me. I was even the president of a uh, recording company within an organization that I was a part of. I did the music part. And so he just gifted me with things. I didn't go to school professionally to get any of these things, but God just gifted me. He put stuff in my hand and put it in my heart and put it in my mind, and I just did it. I've always been a go-getter, and I've always wanted to see things happen. I've always wanted to coordinate things and put things together and see people just happy. So I didn't know it was going to go into a ministry. Yeah.
Well, I tell you that your passion for it is contagious. I can tell that. Um, every time I talk to you, I just enjoy the conversation so much because there are many things, many ideas that we are given, and many things that come before us, opportunities that come before us that many times we don't take advantage of, and we don't take advantage of because we are looking for the how. You
Right.
know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to find the resources? How am I going to make this all happen? And there was a Mecca Fest,
Hmm.
I think, that you did one time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. One morning I woke up. I heard the word in my spirit that said Mecca. And I said, Mecca? What is Mecca? I'd never heard the word, didn't know what it was, but I know I heard it in my spirit, Mecca. So I got on the computer, Google Mecca, and I found out that it was a place where the Jews and the Muslims, they went to pray annually, and they went to pray to Allah. And so I said, Lord, why are you telling me Mecca? I'm not a Muslim, or, I just don't know anything about that practice. I said, so why are you giving that to me? And the Holy Spirit spoke to me. He said, I want you to take the concept of what they do. He said, I want you to bring people together from all walks of life. He said, and I want you to bring them together for one purpose, and that is to give my name glory and honor and praise.
Uh,
And I was going like, okay, God, I can do that. So got on the phone, started making connections and calling. And I'm telling you, it went from 1 year to being at least 6 years annually, Mecca Fest.
uh,
And the reason why I add Fest onto it because we did different things. We had vendors there, we had workshops, we had mimers, I had gospel choirs from the universities, different universities here in North Carolina. They would come, and speakers from all over. I had one young lady, that's my spiritual daughter. She traveled all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She came all the way. I had a group of young men called Real Men, Real Talk. They came from Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, people travel from everywhere. When I put it out, they came. So I know it was the anointing of the Lord on my life, to be able to draw the people to come. And
Mm.
it was such an awesome time. I have so many pictures and stuff of the different events that we had, met so many people, connected with so many people. It was just phenomenal.
And you
Phenomenal.
have been recognized for a lot of the work that you have done. There are things that you were recognized by governors. You've been recognized by
Mhm.
city officials. You've been honored many times. And you have a couple of your awards there. I think you said
Yes.
one
Yes.
is your Achi Award, and that was for mentoring. Was that one for mentoring?
Mentor of the Year.
Mentor of the Year.
Mhm.
And I think you have another one.
And this one is from the Department of Public Safety. My work that I did within the prison system with the ladies. I received this one, and this also one was this was special recognition for my commitment and hard work in CCIW, North Carolina Correctional Institute for Women. So, yeah, the
That
Lord
is
has been good to
amazing.
me. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I tell you, I had to joke with Dr. Rita a little bit because she said I brought a couple of awards from my cabinet to show you. And I said, Dr. Rita, I have a shelf with a couple of awards on it, but I couldn't pull anything from the cabinet. So that just tells you how
Yes.
wonderful she is in the things that she has done. Now, there are two things I want to make sure that we talk about tonight. One, and I want to save the new beginnings for the last, and I know that we have some of those participants on the line tonight, and I thank them so much for coming into the broadcast and helping me to celebrate you. But you have, of all of the television things you've done and interviews and things you've done, you had the opportunity to participate that was really quite phenomenal, and it had to do with life after incarceration.
Mhm.
And I think it was something that Oprah Winfrey did, and
Right.
you got to be a part of. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. The name of the documentary was called Released. And my mentor, Miss Kay Washington, she is on here. Um, she
Awesome.
is the reason why I was on Oprah, because she was the one that was selected out of hundreds and hundreds of people to be on the program. And she was the only female out of all of those that were selected. And so, because she was selected, this was produced by Oprah Winfrey. I was able to be on. I was in 7 of the 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I was in 7 of the 8 episodes, and it was phenomenal. Um, I can attest. I didn't call myself an actress or a celebrity or anything like that, but the work was hard. You hear me?
Mm.
Because they traveled with us everywhere we went. Cameras was it was always there. We had to do certain things certain ways. So changing clothes and being here and going there, it was a whole lot. But I was so proud of my mentor, Kate Washington. I am so proud of her to this day for the accomplishments that she made. When she came out of the prison door, they started filming from that point on. And they need to come back now and see her now, where she has all the things that she has accomplished now. They should be coming back doing a part two, you know.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes.
and Kay, hi Kay. Kay is on here also. Yeah.
Kate,
Mhm.
thank you so much, and I hope that I will get to see that documentary. I know that it had to have been a rewarding experience to be able to share.
Mhm.
That's where we come into that testimony of triumph. To say,
Right.
this doesn't have life doesn't have to stop here,
Right.
and because these doors are open, it means others will open too. There's Kate.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Wonderful.
It has always been my desire to meet Oprah Winfrey. Even though I didn't get to meet Oprah, Oprah knows my name because I was a part of her documentary.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Yes,
nothing wrong with that.
yes.
Now let's get to the heart of the matter tonight and
Hmm.
talk about new beginnings.
Right. Well, it has always been my desire to have a home for women, and I knew that I didn't have the money. Again, don't have to know how, just say yes. But I'm an orderly person. I'm always trying to analyze and figure things out beforehand. But God had a plan, and all I had to do was say yes, Lord. And so when I could not get the house that I wanted to get at first, I went ahead and began the resource center because that's another desire that I had. So it
Mhm.
was called New Beginning Women and Teens Resource Center. And what I did, I had a building, and I was connected at the time. I was in Knightdale, North Carolina. At that time, I was connected to the high school where I was able to get the young people that were coming from high school to come to the resource center. And there we had lessons and we did workshops and we did all kinds of activities. We brought people in to encourage the young people. We fed them for breakfast. We fed them, anytime you feed them, they want to eat, they'll love that. And we would feed them and just had a good time. And I'll never forget, we brought a young man in from New York, and he was a movie director, and he taught I think it was like a 5-part series to the young people on how to produce your own movie. And
Wow.
what they did, they worked on producing a movie about the business, the resource center, and they were outside with cameras and they were acting all the parts. And when they got through, it was such a beautiful production that they had done, and the kids loved it. So they were just so excited about that. But then the building got sold,
Mhm.
and so I didn't have any nothing else that I could go to, so I had to put that on hold. And then immediately I started working on the transitional house. Well, the opportunity came to me so easily that I got nervous. I mean, it was dropped in my lap. And when it was time to sign the paperwork, I was literally shaking because God had just moved so easily in this position. And so I started out because I was working on the inside with the ladies. I got an opportunity to know them, one on one. And their concern a lot of the time was, where are we going to go when we get out? I can't go back home. I can't go to my county. I don't know where I'm going to go, Miss Rita. So it became a burden on me. And I kept saying, Lord, now I can't handle their burden. I need you to help me so that I can help them. And so when the opportunity came for me to get this home, I knew it was God. I knew it was God. And
Wow.
so one of the very first person that stayed in the house, um, her name was Miss Stella. And Stella was the only one we had in that house. But we had a grand opening, and everybody came and looked at the house, and they ooh and ah, and they said this looks like a bed and breakfast, instead of a transitional house. And we had the pastor, Bishop Spain. He came in and he prayed all through our home that the peace of God would rest there. And so when one of the other young ladies that I used to take out on take out shopping and stuff like that, and so before I even got the house, her and I were talking, and I said to her, I said, I'm going to get a house. I said, and I'm going to have it so when women come out, that they will have somewhere to stay. And she said, you know what, Miss Rita, you sure are. She said, and I'm going to be in that house too. And I want you to know that this young lady, when she came out, I signed her out of prison. She came to the house and she stayed in that house for a whole year as a resident. She was so good, doing so well that we ended up putting her on as an employee. So
Wow.
she worked as my live-in person, and she stayed there for 2 years. 2 years. And
Wow.
now she is doing well. She's working, got her own place, car, and her and Miss K are two of the people that I am so proud of that I have worked with that have, there's more, but those two really, really accomplished a whole lot. So now we have the house, and now some things had changed, and we needed some more assistance and stuff like that. And so I had the opportunity to connect with another young lady that I've known as a young person, Miss Lynch, and she has a program called Road to Recovery. And so we talked, and so I am the program manager for Road to Recovery. So
Wow.
yeah, so the ladies that are on tonight and that are high Road to Recovery, everybody, they're on Thursday nights. We usually have our special session. So tonight is an extra special session because they're watching me. And another element. Yes, and Miss Gina, she is our live-in person, so she's there with them, and we're still doing the same program, but we're doing it under another name, and so we're just so glad that God has blessed us, and they're coming, and our goal is to equip them. We want to equip these ladies so that when they leave, they're leaving with some resources, some change of heart, some change of mind. We don't want them just to think they're in the house, and I always tell the ladies, this is not vacation time. This is time to be transitioning, working on self so that you can go on to the next phase. And they know Miss Rita loves them, but Miss Rita will not tolerate no foolishness. I need y'all to get this thing. We don't have as much time as we used to have,
Mhm.
and so we really want them to, really progress and,
Mhm.
accomplish those goals that they're set for themselves. So I love the ladies, I really do. I said, Lord, as long as you help me and give me strength, I'm going to continue to do what you've called me to do. And that is to help these ladies transition to another level. Now, my next goal is to get another home so that when they're finished the program here at Road to Recovery, they can go to the second home, which would be a little bit more different, because they'll have to pay their rent, and they'll have, more privacy than they will, you know, than they have right now. So that's what my heart's desire is to have another home for phase 2 of my program.
Well, you know what? If that's your heart's desire, I'll be having you back on to talk about how it's progressing.
I receive it. I
Because I
receive that.
believe that if as many doors as God has opened
Mhm.
for you to be of service to so many people, I can't imagine that He's going to stop now.
I don't
So
believe it.
I am just believing with you and
Thank
standing with you that that is going to happen. Let me ask you one other thing. About how many women do you think you have served in this home since you've been, since you've had it?
you. Yeah, this we're going into our 6th year now.
Hmm.
And when I first started the program, the ladies had up to a year to be in the home. And so for the first 2 years, they had it was 6 ladies in the house, so
Okay.
they had up to a year. But I felt like that was too much time because they started getting comfortable. They started feeling like this was their apartment. So it
Mhm.
wasn't like they were really trying to transition. They were trying to get comfortable and get all they could get, and then when their time was up, they would go. So we reduced the program down to it's a 90-day program now. Road to Recovery has a 90-day program. And, if they're doing well and need an extra 30 days, we'll be able to help them. But that time that they're in the house, we're always looking for resources to help them so that they can, transition smoothly. Now, you have some people that will, and you have some people that won't. We're there to help all of them, but we can't make anybody do anything. And so we just present it to them. And if they receive it, then we'll work with them to get them to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been so busy talking to you and enjoying talking to you and hearing your story that I completely forgot to ask you, how can people get in touch with you if they want to partner with you on some level, or if they want to be a part of the work that you're doing with Road to Recovery? How would they be able to reach you?
Yes, they can reach me at my email address, which is rsuter, my name, 70 at gmail.com. My number, which is my business number, is 919-426-5894.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. We are coming, this is, I think this is the fastest 45 minutes of any 45 minutes in a day. But I don't want you to go without leaving us with a nugget. Just what is it that you would like for the audience to take away from your life's journey, the things that you've done,
Mhm.
because it you set out to serve.
Mhm.
You didn't set out to do the awards. You didn't set out to see who would see you or how you would be recognized. You set out to serve. Um, but what would you like for the listeners to leave with tonight? What are the words from Dr. Rita?
Well, my words, I've been saying it throughout, this whole conversation. When God gives you an assignment or when He places something on your heart, you know, know that it's Him working through you. And if I always say, when God gives vision, He makes provision.
Provision.
So
Absolutely.
the how is not your concern. All
Mhm.
you got to say is, yes, Lord, I'm willing. And that's all He wants, is a willing vessel. And that's my story. And as they say, I'm sticking to it. It's not the how, it's the yes, Lord,
It's
whatever your will is. Because if you do what He wants you to do, you're going to come out on the top. You're going to
it's
come up on
yes.
top all the time. I win.
That's it. That is it. I
Mhm.
tell you what, Dr. Rita, I have so enjoyed
Thank you.
this conversation. We've been looking forward to it for weeks, and I am just so happy that we were able to make it happen and you were able to be on tonight.
Mhm.
Look, guys, this is if you're looking to connect with somebody who's doing something, you won't put your hands to the plow to do something, Dr. Rita is the lady for you to see, because as you can tell, she is not stagnant. She is not standing still. She is not waiting for something to happen. She is giving that yes, and she is letting
Oh,
God
yes.
fill in the blanks. And I'm telling you, He is doing amazing work through you, Dr. Rita.
Yes,
And
God.
I appreciate you so much for just hanging in there, because I know it can't be easy all the time.
Right.
But like you say, when God is giving you the vision, that's why I say that house is that other extension is coming.
Oh, I receive it. I receive it.
I really do believe
Thank
that,
you,
because
Lord. Thank you, Lord.
it's coming from Him,
Mhm.
and He doesn't give you things and then take them away and say, "Nah, I don't think I'm going to do that through you." Mm-mm. If He gives it to you, it's going to come to pass.
Yeah,
It's
it's going
going
to
to
come
come
out.
to pass.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
Thank
being with us
you.
tonight. And thank you, ladies from Road to Recovery, and all of you who joined tonight to help celebrate this wonderful lady. And I just pray that increase,
Mhm.
increase and overflow. And you will have absolutely everything that you need, because that's the kind of
Yeah.
God we serve.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hines. I appreciate you so much. I really do.
Well, you are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And that is it for us for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the hearts. Kay is sending up some hearts now. Thank you for the hearts, Kay, and everybody who came on to support and to hear the
Mhm.
story of Dr. Rita and all that she has done. So that is it for us. We're going to close out now, but I'm going to, now Dr. Rita won't be here next week, but I'm still going to be here. I'll be here at 7 p.m. I'm not sure what our topic or what our guest is going to be. We may have a guest, we may not, but I tell you what, whenever you come back, you have the opportunity to turn down the volume of life for just a little bit. Be encouraged and be ready to receive, so that when life speaks, you'll speak life. Good
Amen.
night, everybody. Good night, Dr. Rita. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. God bless.